When I first started in this role, Salesforce had a free option for nonprofits. I thought, oh, I'll give it a shot. And I was immediately overwhelmed. There was so much customization that needed to be done. And I just thought, this isn't probably gonna work in the long run. It was just way more complicated than we needed. It was free, but if you wanted it to be customized and really work for you, that's where there was additional fees. And so I thought, this isn't really working. I needed to look for other options. I need something simple that people could jump in and figure out relatively easy, but yet sophisticated enough to do what we wanted it to do. And so I investigated what was out there and came across DonorDock. In the time that we've used DonorDock, we've added numerous business partners. We've added 100 individual donors. And then we've got a few thousand potential donors in our database that we wouldn't be able to have in there if we weren't allowed to just continually add. And so I wanted to be able to import a ton of contacts to be able to reach people. And I wasn't going to hit a cap, whereas, well, if I can only import 1,000 people, which 1,000 am I going to pick? That was just a real key thing to me, especially trying to build a donor base. I wanted to have a lot of people in there and representing a lot of different areas. And DonorDock helps us do that outreach and provide an easy way for donors to give as well. The ability to send emails through the system and not have to have a separate system and then receive a donation soon after that. That's success right there. The ease with which things can be created and shared with donors and prospective donors, there's just a lot of success around that. With DonorDock, I know that my donor information is always up to date and everybody's in there versus having to go to a different program to do this or upload contacts to Constant Contact or MailChimp because I need to use that and to keep everything updated. It saves a lot of time. The user interface is easy to maneuver and get around and find what you need. It's nice. It's not so overly complex. It's just nice to have things that just work. And it's a simple process to get them to work. And I think that's what DonorDock is. It's a system with a lot of features, but it's easy enough and simple enough for staff to figure out and be able to work with. I like that I'm able to create tasks for myself. When I get a new donor or a new business donor and we have different things that we do, I can create those tasks right in there and it reminds me when they're coming due. And I have a lot of different buckets that I work in. So when I can log into DonorDock and see, oh, I need to be working on this and this, that is helpful. The customer service is out of this world. When I started, there was one thing that I wanted to be able to do was send donorversary emails to people on the anniversary of their first gift. And they were like, oh, I like that idea. Then they implemented it very quickly. And I thought, gosh, they're listening to what people want. They're always improving. I don't have lots of issues that have come up, but when I do and I email support, it's taken care of. It's fixed. And if it's something that takes a little longer, I think something maybe took a day to figure out. It's so nice to not feel like you're bothering someone, but that they're ready to take care of the problem, fix it. It's been fantastic. I would say you just can't go wrong with DonorDock. It worked for us, fit within our budget, and met all of our needs without any problems. And I think that was the most important from my end, just making sure that I wasn't spending a fourth of our budget on our donor management system because that's ridiculous. And so I think for smaller nonprofits, it's the perfect fit. I've recommended it many times and I've heard back from people that have started using it that they're glad to hear about it because they didn't know that it was even an option. Salesforce is just really not meant for nonprofits. It's really a CRM for business. Even though they have a nonprofit interface with it, it's just way too much. And I've worked in other nonprofits too, and it would have been too much for those too. I don't know what we would be doing if we didn't have DonorDock. We'd be looking at something much more expensive, probably more complex for the user, and probably not with all the features that we have. So I'm just thankful for DonorDock because it's the perfect fit for us, and I know it is perfect for many other nonprofits as well.